A retired couple in Colorado bought a camper van in March 2024. By October, they'd lost $18,000. They didn't crash it, they didn't flood it. They made the exact same buying decision most people watching this video are about to make. Here's what's happening right now. Thousands of buyers, retirees, families, people who've saved for years, walk into dealerships with one belief locked in their head. One belief that sounds completely reasonable. One belief that gets repeated in every forum, every Facebook group, every YouTube comment section. And that belief is costing them $10,000, $15,000, sometimes more, before they've driven a single mile. The myth is this: buy the van that has the most features for your budget. More kitchen, more solar, more insulation, more everything. If you're spending $60,000, you want $60,000 worth of van. That thinking is wrong. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why and what smart buyers are doing differently. The platform first rule. Here's the rule that changes everything in 2026. Buy the platform, not the build. The platform is the base vehicle, the chassis, the drivetrain, the engine. The build is everything bolted on top: the cabinetry, the solar system, the fridge, the conversion. Smart buyers understand one critical thing: the platform determines your long-term cost of ownership. The build determines how the van looks in photos. Dealers make their highest margins on heavily converted vans. Every premium conversion add-on, upgraded lithium system, premium upholstery, proprietary solar setup, is pure profit layered on top of a vehicle that may be sitting on a mediocre platform. The contrarian insight most buyers never hear is a $45,000 van on a rock-solid platform will almost always outperform a $65,000 van on a problematic one. Over 5 years, the difference in repair costs, downtime, and resale value can exceed $20,000. That's not a rounding error, that's a retirement fund. The second thing smart buyers understand: in 2026, the used market has changed dramatically. Post-pandemic inventory searches mean significantly more used camper vans are available than in 2021 or 2022. Prices have softened. That's good for you, but only if you know which platforms to target and which to avoid. The third thing, and this is the one nobody talks about, is what I call the parts economy test. Before committing to any van, ask this: if this breaks down in rural Montana or the south of France, can a local mechanic fix it with parts available within 48 hours? If the answer is no, you're not buying freedom, you're buying dependency. Let's get into the vehicles.
Van number 1, Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, 2019 to 2023. Why smart buyers choose it. The Sprinter is the benchmark, not because it's perfect, it's not, but because of what it gives you after the sale. Global parts availability, tens of thousands of trained mechanics, a second-hand parts ecosystem no other van in this class can match. In the USA, a used 2019 to 2021 Sprinter 144-inch high roof will run you between $38,000 and $58,000 depending on conversion quality and mileage. In Europe, the same window is 35,000 to 52,000 euros. And this is where buyers get trapped. The 2.1-liter OM651 diesel found in pre-2019 models is problematic. High EGR failure rates, timing chain issues, avoided entirely. The 2-liter OM654 fitted from 2019 onwards is a significant improvement, more robust, better emissions compliance, lower long-term fault rates. The 3-liter V6 diesel in the US market is a tank, expensive to repair when things go wrong, but it goes wrong less often. Now, here's the part dealers avoid mentioning: Sprinter-specific labor rates. In the U.S., dealer-only diagnostics for the MBUX system and proprietary AdBlue components can run $400 to $800 per service visit. Independent mechanics with Sprinter-specific training cost 30 to 40% less, but they are not everywhere.
If you're a retired couple planning full-time travel across multiple states or countries, this is your first logistics problem to solve before you buy. Who should not buy it? If you're planning part-time van life, weekend trips, annual holidays, the Sprinter is over-engineered for your needs. You'll pay for capability you'll never use. Van number 2, Ford Transit, 2019 to 2024. Why smart buyers choose it. This is the platform that wins the parts economy test every single time. Ford Transit parts are available at AutoZone, Halfords, and independent mechanics on every continent. The 2.0-liter EcoBlue diesel is one of the most widely serviced van engines in the world. Used prices in the U.S., $32,000 to $52,000 for a 2019 to 2022 high-roof medium. In Europe, €28,000 to €46,000. Here's the contrarian truth most buyers miss. The Ford Transit is the best value platform in 2026, not because it's the most prestigious, but because every dollar saved on the platform can go to a superior aftermarket build. You're buying optionality. Families researching this purchase should pay particular attention here. The Transit's interior footprint and cargo flexibility give you more livable space per dollar than any other platform in this price range. Maintenance reliability. The EcoBlue diesel paired with the 10-speed automatic is smooth and durable. Main failure points, turbocharger issues on high-mileage examples, and EGR valve fouling after 80,000 miles. Both are cheap to fix relative to equivalent failures on the Sprinter. But the resale math gets interesting. Because the Transit is so popular with smaller converters and DIY builders, you'll encounter substandard electrical work regularly in the used market. Budget $1,500 to $3,000 for a proper electrical audit when buying used. That's not optional. It's the price of due diligence on this platform. Who should not buy it? If you're planning a fully integrated factory conversion, the Transit's strength is as a platform. If you want something that came out of a factory line complete, look elsewhere. Van number 3, Volkswagen California, T6.1, 2020 to 2024. Why smart buyers choose it. Nobody talks about the California as a serious contender for full-time van life. That's a mistake for the right buyer. For couples or solo travelers with a compact lifestyle, the California Ocean offers factory engineering at a price point that beats most mid-spec Sprinter conversions. Used prices in Europe, €52,000 to €72,000 for low-mileage T6.1 Ocean. U.S. importers exist, but gray market complexity adds cost and compliance risk. This is a European recommendation. Here's the number most buyers never look up. A 3-year-old California retains 65 to 72% of its new value under normal conditions. That is exceptional for any recreational vehicle. Most camper conversions drop 40 to 50% in 3 years. The California's floor is built differently because Volkswagen production volume and brand equity protect it. Your downside is genuinely protected. Sounds great until you look at the parts situation. The California's integrated cabinetry is proprietary. A broken drawer slide, a failed mini fridge compressor, or a damaged pop-top seal can only be sourced through Volkswagen or specialist suppliers. Parts are not fast to arrive in rural areas. Budget premium pricing for anything habitation-related. Who should not buy it? Families. The California is designed for 2 adults in real comfort. Children, gear, and extended trips will expose the spatial limitations within weeks. Winnebago Travato, 2020 to 2023 U.S. market. Why smart buyers choose it. The Travato sits on the Ram ProMaster platform, which is the Fiat Ducato in North American specification. Front-wheel drive, low floor, Class B classification. For buyers who want a factory-built motorhome with genuine chassis reliability, this is the most overlooked value play in the U.S. market right now. Used prices, $68,000 to $88,000 for 2020 to 2022 examples with under 40,000 miles. And this is where buyers are leaving money on the table. Most buyers avoid the ProMaster because of old reliability data. The pre-2017 ProMaster had transmission issues, and those post-forum posts still rank. The post-2019 units underpinning the current Travato are substantially better. Buyers chasing outdated information are letting real value walk out the door. Maintenance reliability. The 3.6-liter Pentastar V6 petrol is the most widely serviced engine in North America. If you're retired and traveling domestically, you will never be more than 40 miles from a mechanic who knows this engine cold. That matters at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday in the middle of nowhere. Winnebago's factory build quality on the Travato is above average for the Class B segment. Seam sealing, electrical integration, and water system engineering are all markedly better than many small converter competitors. But the resale math gets ugly if you plan wrong. Front-wheel drive limits serious off-road capability. If your route plan includes forest service roads, dispersed camping, or significant elevation gain on gravel, budget $4,000 to $7,000 for suspension upgrades and quality all-terrain tires. Without that investment, you're restricted to paved surfaces. That limits where you can go, and it limits resale appeal to a narrower buyer pool. Who should not buy it? European buyers. The ProMaster platform lacks the parts and service infrastructure outside North America. Hymer Grand Canyon S Sprinter platform, 2021 to 2024, European market. Why smart buyers choose it. The Hymer Grand Canyon S is built on the Sprinter chassis. Everything said about the Sprinter platform applies here. What Hymer adds is factory integration quality that standalone converters rarely match at this price. Used prices in Europe, 62,000 to 82,000 euros for 2021 to 2023 examples. Here's the calculation buyers consistently get wrong. A comparable custom Sprinter build, matching Hymer's insulation specification, heating system integration, and water capacity, typically costs 15,000 to 20,000 euros more when built to the same standard. The used Grand Canyon S isn't expensive, it's discounted complexity. For retired buyers who don't want to project manage a custom conversion, this is the most time-efficient purchase in the European market. Sounds great, until warranty ends. Hymer's proprietary control system will be discontinued for older units at some point. This is true for all manufacturer-specific smart systems. When the app loses support, manual override becomes essential. Ask about full manual override capability before purchasing. If the dealer can't answer that question clearly, that's your answer. Who should not buy it? U.S. buyers without European import experience. Gray market importation of the Grand Canyon S creates compliance, warranty, and resale complications that eliminate the value advantage entirely.
The mileage risk zone. 80,000 miles or 130,000 kilometers is the ceiling for a risk-free purchase on any diesel platform without a full pre-buy inspection. Above that number, budget $600 to $1,200 for an independent mechanical inspection before signing anything. This is not optional. If you're retired and buying for long-term travel, this $1,000 is the best insurance you'll spend before you spend six figures. Best model years to buy. Sprinter, 2019 to 2022. Ford Transit, 2020 to 2023. VW California, 2020 onward. These years align with post-emissions hardware improvements and pre-2024 price inflation on newer models. Common repair costs buyers ignore. Roof seam resealing on any van over 4 years old, $400 to $900. Water ingress is the most common cause of catastrophic interior damage, and insurance rarely covers it if the ingress point was pre-existing. AdBlue system faults on Euro 6 diesels, $800 to $2,500 depending on severity. Habitation service on a European motorhome, 300 to 600 euros annually. Many U.S. buyers don't know this maintenance category exists until the bill arrives. Engines that cost the most to own. The Mercedes OM651 2.1-liter diesel, pre-2019 Sprinter only. EGR and timing chain failure rates make it a liability. any petrol-only Sprinter in Europe. They're cheap for a reason. High-mileage Transit Connect diesels being presented as panel van conversions. They are not the same chassis. Buyers conflate them constantly. Reliability indicators on a test drive. Cold start, not warm, cold. A diesel warmed up before your arrival can mask turbo and EGR issues for the entire test drive. Full electronics check. Every switch, every circuit, every USB port. If you're a family planning trips with kids relying on climate control and charging, test all of it before you leave the lot. Water pump test. Run the taps for 4 minutes straight. Watch for pressure drop and check for leaks under floor panels.
The hidden deal breaker. Here is the $15,000 mistake. Buying a van with a conversion that cannot be independently valued. Here's exactly how it happens. A buyer finds a Sprinter listed at $74,000. The seller explains that $30,000 of that is a premium custom conversion, hand-built cabinetry, a $6,000 lithium battery system, a $4,000 solar array, custom upholstery. The buyer accepts this. The conversion looks stunning. They pay $74,000. 6 months later, they need to sell. The market values the base 2020 Sprinter at $46,000. The custom conversion adds maybe $8,000 to $12,000 of real resale value. They list at $74,000. Nobody calls. They drop to $62,000. They sell at $58,000. They lost $16,000 in 6 months without doing anything wrong, except believing the seller's valuation. This happens constantly, not occasionally, not to naive buyers, to intelligent, financially careful people who simply didn't know that custom conversion costs do not transfer to the resale market at full value. Buyers pay retail for a conversion, they sell at wholesale. The gap is always theirs to absorb. The protection is straightforward. Before buying any converted van, get an independent appraisal of the base platform value, a written, itemized list of every conversion component with brand and model numbers, and a comparison quote for what an equivalent factory conversion costs new. If the numbers don't hold up, the price doesn't hold up. The myth was never about features. It was about where the value actually lives inside these vehicles. Smart buyers in 2026 know one thing that most buyers never figure out until it's too late. The most expensive camper van is rarely the one with the highest price tag. It's the one you can't afford to get rid of. Now you know the difference.